What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So, as you can see by the looks and the title of the screen, today I'm going to be bringing y'all a very special playmaking shot creator build out of the small forward position. Today, I decided to switch it up a little bit, but also with this build, you're going to be able to get over 100 badges and also be able to get contact dunks and do everything a normal play shot is able to do. So, before we get any further into the video, man, I just gotta say thank God for giving me this opportunity. Thank y'all for the support. But man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family, RGF, go ahead and turn on post notifications. But man, just be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. I would appreciate it if we could go ahead and get 50 likes on this banger. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And now, man, let's go ahead and get into the actual making of this playmaking shot creator build. So the very first thing that y'all need to go ahead and do is, of course, if you were paying attention, we're gonna go ahead and put this build under the small forward position. Now, I know this position is very overpowered when it comes to most of the smaller builds, when it comes to being around somewhere, I would say like 6'9" and under, even 6'8" and under. But honestly, small forwards are really a wave this year. So when it comes down to the height on this build, I decided to go with 6'6". Now, when it comes down to the weight, I'm going to be going with 180. And then as for the wingspan, I really feel like the best wingspan all around is going to be 7 feet exactly. Now, you can always make your own adjustments, so don't worry about this. If you don't like the numbers, you can honestly just change it up. But again, you do risk changing up the build name. However, it's not going to be too hard to make any adjustments, so if you want to, go ahead and do so. But now, let's just go ahead and get into the making of the actual build. And if you want to make your own adjustments, I highly suggest that at the end of the video, you go ahead and do that. But also remember, like I said, this build is going to be able to get contact dunks. So that is what's going to make this build very special. It's very specific when it comes down to the stats as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the finishing side first. As always, when it comes down to the close shot, I'm going to go with a 59. Now, when it comes down to the driving layup, I'm actually going to go ahead and put this up to an 86. Now, for the driving dunk, we're not going to be able to put this to a 92 and get all of the contact dunks, but we will be able to get the pro ones if you go with an 85. The vertical will be adjusted later on, so do not worry about it. But honestly, 20 badges right here is not bad for this kind of build, especially when you take a look at what these builds are like on current gen compared to next gen. I'm really glad that we're able to get the contact dunks, which makes this build even better all around. So if you want to go higher on anything of the finishing stats, go ahead and do so, but just remember, you are risking changing up the build name. Now, let's go ahead and get into the shooting on this build. So, when it comes down to the mid-range shot, we're actually going to go ahead and put this to an 89. When it comes down to the three-pointer, we're actually going to max this out at an 84. Right there, when it comes down to the free throw, I want to be able to take this build into any game mode and find success with it. So, I'm going to go with a free throw of 74. And as you can see, we actually get 29 shooting badges. A lot of shooting badges at that, especially to pair up with the finishing. When it comes down to the offensive side of this build, this is really solid so far. But now let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. When it comes down to that pass accuracy, I'm going to go with an 85. As for the ball handle, we're going to be able to get the pro dribbles. So go ahead and put this to an 85 as well. Then, when it comes down to the speed with ball, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 83. And as you can see, we get 28 badges when it comes down to the playmaking side. So honestly, I'm telling you, the 6'6" version of this play shot is honestly very solid, especially when you take a look at the takeovers that we will be getting. I'm just telling you right now, the takeovers make this build even better all around. But now, let's go ahead and get into the defensive side of the ball. So, perimeter defense, I'm going to go with is going to be an 85. Steal, going to be an 84. When it comes down to that block, this is going to be a 70. Then as for the offensive rebound, I'm going to go with a 47. or you can go with a 45. If you want to get more badges, just go ahead and raise it. But I'm going to go with an offensive rebound of 45 and a defensive rebound of 75. And as you can see right there, we're going to be able to maintain 21 defensive badges. Now, remember, you're going to be getting a +4 to your badge count, as well as extra badges from each season that you have completed. So if you're already in the second season and completed both, then that means you're going to get a total of +6 badges to this build, any build that you make in the future. So that is a huge W in my opinion. Now, when it comes down to the physicals, what you want to go ahead and do is max out that speed at 88. Acceleration isn't going to be maxed out because we want to maintain some stats on our other physicals. So we're going to go with an 82 acceleration. 70 vertical must stay at a 70 at least in order to get the pro contacts. And then the stamina is going to go up to a 90. Now, as you can see, the badge count for these builds, especially with which badges you unlock, is super good. But also when you take a look all around at what these stats are looking like, all of them are in the mid to high 80s for a majority of the stats. Imagine once you buy boosts with this build, but also running with teammates that are going to be having floor general as well as defensive leader. Right there, that is going to be a +8 to every single stat shown on the board. But then depending on the takeover that you get a +10 to each specific category. So essentially you're going to be getting a +18 to the stats that you pick your takeover for. Let's go ahead and check them out. As you can see, we get the lockdown, also get the slashing, shot creating, and then the play making, y'all. I gotta go ahead and be real, the ones that really make sense to me are going to be picking the lockdown as well as the shot creating takeover. Now remember, you can always change this up based on your own preference and playstyle, but for me, I'm going to go with first extreme clamps and then ankle breaking shots. And as y'all can see, we have made the first ever 100+ badge playmaking shot creator, but also this is out of the small forward position, which means we're going to be able to get contact dunks on this build. Now let's just go ahead and take a quick look at this build once you add up all the boosts, all the stats, as well as getting your takeover. So in takeover, essentially with boost considered, you're going to be able to get a 99 perimeter defense, 99 steal, block will be in the high 80s. Offensive rebound, we're not going to care too much about that, but when it comes down to the defensive, this is going to be in the high 80s or it will be in the low 90s. Now, if you pick the playmaking takeover, you're going to be able to get a 99 pass accuracy, ball handle, and speed with ball. But we decided to go with the shooting, so instead you're going to be able to get a 99 mid-range shot and a 99 three-pointer, and the free throw will be and has the potential to hit the 90s. But if you picked the slashing takeover, essentially in takeover, remember, you're getting a +10 to whichever takeover your stats are working towards. So if you pick the slashing, you're going to be able to get a 99 driving layup and a 99 driving dunk. Just imagine how glitchy this build is going to be, especially once you switch your takeovers and really find out what you like most. Imagine even picking slashing takeover as well as with that playmaking. You're going to be so fast with the ball, but honestly, when it comes down to being able to get plucked, that is not even going to be consideration because your ball handle is going to be a 99. Now, when it comes down to the finishing badges, the main ones that I really like to run are going to be posterizer, limitless takeoff, and then from there, you can really add in badges that you like to use based off your own preference. But from here, let's go ahead and get into the shooting. So for me, I'm going to go with gold blinders, silver deadeye, bronze green machine, as well as volume shooter. Then also I'm going to add in hot zone hunter on gold, hall of fame sniper, silver, stop and pop, corner specialist, and then for the very last four, this really comes down to what you want to do. Again, if you feel like changing anything up, you definitely can go about it that way, but for me, I would really consider difficult shots on gold. That is really going to help out with the takeover that we picked for this specific version. But now let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. So I'm going to go with all gold, hyperdrive, quick chain, and then triple threat juke. From there, I'm also going to add in quick first step, unpluckable, and then handles for days. Now, if you feel like going about this a different way, just remember you definitely can do so, but again, in my best recommendation, I would just go ahead and do what I'm showing y'all, so that way you know what you are getting out of this build. Let's go ahead and finish it off with the defensive side of these badges though. So I'm gonna go with silver, chase down artist, as well as pickpocket. From there, I'm adding in rim protector, clamps, interceptor, silver intimidator, bronze, rebound chaser, and then when it comes down to these last 4 badges, if you want to, you can make adjustments to go ahead and add in hustler. This is actually a really solid setup to run with because you get 1 more extra badge left over. So if you wanted to, you can go ahead and put this on anything that you like. For me, I would go with tireless defender, and this is a setup that I would be running. We're gonna get 21 defensive badges, 28 playmaking, 29 shooting, and then 20 finishing. Then you get the +6 from the season, and then the 4 that you're gonna be getting. So 6 in total when it comes down to getting the rebirth build as well. Man, I just gotta say thank God for giving me this opportunity. Thank y'all for the support. I truly appreciate y'all. I love y'all and I thank y'all. I got more bangers dropping this week with builds that are going to be having over 100 badges as well as gameplay. So man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, RGF, go ahead and turn on post notifications, but be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. I would appreciate it if we could go ahead and get 50 likes on this banger. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And man, last but not least, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.